Got questions about the Brazos, no more unknowns. Ever wonder where that water comes from or where it goes? We're unpacking the Brazos River.
If you're a waterfowl hunter in Texas, August isn't just hot, it's officially the start of the season hype. If you want guaranteed access to a spot to hunt on Lake Limestone, Granbury, or Possum Kingdom Lake, today's episode is your guide to enter a lottery for a golden ticket this season. I'm Charlie Shugart, and this is Unpacking the Brazos River. Joining me today are staff from each of the lake offices. The rules and requirements are the same across the board, and the crew is here to share not only that, but the times and dates of the drawings, what that special day looks like, and tips for those who haven't participated. Okay, so joining us from Lake Limestone is Sharon Davenport and Wayne Goldwater. Welcome to the podcast, guys.
Thank you.
So, Sharon, this is your first time on the podcast with us. Tell everyone a little bit about your history with the organization.
I am the Senior Administrative Assistant here at Lake Limestone. I have been here for almost 24 years.
That's amazing.
I've enjoyed every minute of it.
Yeah. Well, welcome aboard. Glad to finally have you on the show. And from Lake Granbury, we're joined by Reservoir Manager Dylan Mayfield. Welcome back.
Yeah, glad to be back.
Last, but certainly not least, is Reservoir Programs Coordinator Diane Davis from Possum Kingdom Lake.
Good morning, Charlie. How are you this morning?
I'm so good. How are you?
Good.
So tell us, what is this waterfowl hunting site drawing that the lakes are having?
So, the Brazos River Authority, we've got tons of water, so that attracts a ton of waterfowl every year. So we do an annual drawing for waterfowl permits. So we have locations designated on the lake where it's free to enter. And if you get selected, it's a $200 permit, but you get to waterfowl hunt this specific location all year long. So it's great that we have this to offer it up to the public.
Yeah. All right. So when is the drawing at Lake Granbury for this year?
So this year it's on August the 28th. That's a Friday. Our address is 4552 Mambrino Highway, Granbury, Texas, 76048. You won't miss us. That morning there'll be vehicles everywhere. So
amazing.
So that morning we'll open the door about 8 a.m. We have a sign-in sheet, and the drawing starts about 8:30, and we'll start drawing names at random. I usually pick a kid out of the room to be neutral. We'll pull numbers, and we'll go down that list. It's kind of a first come, first serve as far as the locations. We'll have our PowerPoint up on the screen, kind of rolling through the locations so people can see where those are and they can select those, and then we'll mark them off the list as those 1 through 15 get marked off the list. When you enter, it's free. If you're drawn, your name will be read aloud. You'll pick 1 through 15, whichever one you want, and then you will go in, and Kyle Lewis will kind of go over the permit, and just make sure that the permittee understands the rules and regulations and what they're signing up for, and then you'll get over process for payment.
So, Sharon, what is the date for Lake Limestone? When can people come and be a part of the lottery?
It will be on Friday, August the 21st, 2026.
Awesome. And is it going to be there at the Lake Limestone office?
Yes, ma'am. 20226 Sterling Robertson Dam Road, Horton, Texas. So normally we ask everybody to be present at 8 a.m. and we always have stragglers. So we usually start about 8:30 and we have everyone come into the office and put their name into a hat, so to speak. Then we pull names. So yes, we pull 27 names for the 27 spots and then 10 alternates. Just in the event some of those 27 decide they don't want a permit due to maybe not liking the site that's left.
I was going to say, why would somebody show up and then decide they didn't want it?
Well, in the past, we've had they'll get a big group together, 10 or 15 guys, and they're all kind of hunt together. So they would get multiple blinds drawn. Once they got their fill, they would just let the other blinds go if they were lucky enough to get drawn. And that's where the 10 reserve or alternates come into play in case someone doesn't want the blind. They're going to have to show us that they got a current hunting license for the 26, 27 year and their federal duck stamp to be able to be eligible to participate in the drawing.
Okay. And now for Possum Kingdom, when is y'all's drawing?
Well, our waterfowl blind drawing is on Friday, August 21st, 2026. Our gates will open at 7 a.m. That's when sign-ups start. And then the drawing will start at 8 a.m. And it's right in the parking lot at our office.
What's the address of y'all's office?
301 Observation Point Road in Grayford, Texas.
Okay, awesome.
So during that hour, you need to sign up with myself or the other reservoir programs coordinator, Justin Bullock. We'll have a table set up and we'll explain the rules of the drawing. You have to be present. You have to have a hunting license with a duck stamp. All of that needs to be current. During the drawing, we're hoping to have a game warden here and a sheriff's deputy. So if you have any law enforcement questions, you can ask them right there.
Oh, that's really helpful. So, how many spots are there available if people are to show up? Like, what are the options there?
Okay, so at Possum Kingdom Lake, we have 29 available blinds.
Does that number stay the same year to year?
Each year, we go up the river in our airboat and we check and make sure that those sites are still available, that there isn't something that has changed in the land or the water. At this time, we have 3 that are unavailable, and those have been unavailable for several years due to the river and the land. We're always checking every year before the season starts to make sure that the 29 that we have open are still open. We want to make sure that you are in an area that's safe and that you're far enough away from another blind. You're also far enough away from any residents, things like that.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
The river is always changing. It changes the land a little bit. It changes the way it flows depending on how much water we have.
Okay, so Possum Kingdom Lake has 29 spots. Lake Limestone has 27 spots. What's it look like over at Granbury?
We have 15. Historically, they're kind of in the same location. Usually around, duck hunting season, we have water in these locations. So hopefully we have that later in the year. But these are locations where they're boat in, unfortunately. We're just very landlocked, so there's no walk-in. So you have to have a boat to get to these locations. There's a post with a number that coincides with your permit number. And so you just have to hunt within 20 feet, those poles with the numbers, and there's GPS locations as well. So, yeah.
So, how do you determine what locations are available for that?
Well, I mean, I'm a duck hunter myself, and our lake rangers, several of them are duck hunters. So these areas that we've used, these 15 areas we've used, are kind of away from houses, if you will. So it kind of attracts more of the ducks in those areas. It's got the right depth, vegetation, things like that, are good areas conducive for duck hunting. So if people, have good success in these areas, why change them? So that's kind of the feedback that we've had. And I think a lot of the locations haven't changed in a few years, but, with vegetation and homes coming in and, just development around the lake, we might have to change on in the future. But as of right now, we're keeping the same as last year.
Wayne, is it the same at Limestone?
The stands that are located on the lake are away from any kind of structures, residents, anything that where someone could get injured. You just don't want to destroy, someone's property or whatever, or wake them up at daylight because all the gunfire and everything else. So,
I mean, that makes sense. You got to keep everybody safe.
I know we've lost a couple because dwellings have popped up in those locations. But all permanent spots are located on the lake bed. We will not put a permanent spot on someone's property. So as long as they fall below the 363 lake level, that's considered lake bed. That's where those blinds will go. You cannot hunt from someone else's property. It's a big no-no.
Yeah. So at all the lakes, the number of locations can vary year to year, depending on lake level, and if new development has popped up since the previous year.
A lot of people hunt from their boat too, so which is good. They don't have to worry about putting structure or anything. They just kind of hunt from their boat.
Okay. So what's the energy look like at your location on the day of the drawing? Do a lot of people show up for these? Is it kind of the same crew year to year? Dylan, let's start with Granbury.
Well, all I know is my first year was last year here, experienced this drawing. I know when I showed up to work that morning, we had cars everywhere. So we had a traffic jam. Our whole parking lot and grass is all parked on. So, we have 170 to 180 people that typically show up on average. And so I think a ton of people get excited. There's lines out the door waiting for us to open the door to kind of in-process people in. So just in this area, some people go to PK and put in for the drawing, and they'll come down to Granbury as well since they're on different days.
Wow, that's an incredible amount of people for the drawing.
Yes.
What about Lake Limestone?
Well, I think we had a pretty good group last year. I think we had around 200.
It was close.
Oh my gosh.
They're pretty excited. Some people already have their boats there. So if they do get a spot, they'll drive it out to get it ready because teal season starts the first week of September. So first or second week, depending on what zone you're in. So they want to get out there and get to work on putting their blinds together, making sure there's water in their spot. Because a lot of the blinds dictate how full the lake is. It's pretty energetic. A lot of people show up. But we've had to, like I said, with the current duck step and current hunting license, that kind of weeds out because we were getting a lot of people who didn't even hunt just to come to the draw to be able to help others draw out. So this kind of restricts it a little bit. We had several comments that they were happy that was being done last year because people would bring in their either grandmother or their children or whoever that didn't even want to hunt. They were just there for an extra person to put their name in the hat. So
So no bringing grandma along just to double your odds in the hat unless she's actually planning to hunt herself.
it kind of makes it more fair to everybody who really wants to hunt out there. We do have some guys that they go to drawings all over the state, and this is just one of the stops. They'll go to Granbury and PK and some other lakes around the state that have permitted hunting. Some of them are really serious into it.
Yeah, that's really cool. What about over at Possum Kingdom Lake?
Every year is different, Charlie. I've had years where there wasn't even 29 people that showed up. That after the drawing, we still had open spots and people contacted us and paid their permit fee and accepted those spots. In recent years, we've had possibly up to 100 people showing up to get those spots.
All right, so all the lake offices have seen big crowds come in hopes of being one of the names drawn to get a waterfowl blind hunting location. Do you have to be there in person to be part of the process?
Yes, they have to be present. One person, one entry. The hunting licenses through Texas Parks and Wildlife go on sale for the 2026-2027 hunting season. Go on sale August 15th. You'll essentially have 2 weeks, give or take, to get your new hunting license. We'll be checking the migratory game bird endorsement and the federal duck stamp. So you can either have those hard copy, in hand or digital copy on your phone. Our lake range will be checking those. That's kind of a prerequisite to get in the door. So just to make sure that, everyone's permitted and paid for the licenses before they enter the drawing.
Okay, yeah, good to know that on August 15th, the hunting licenses go on sale through the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department for the 2026-2027 season. And if I'm not mistaken, you can buy those online through the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department's website. So for everyone listening who's thinking about showing up to the next drawing for the first time, is there a rookie mistake you see people make year to year? Sharon and Wayne, what have you seen at Lake Limestone?
Some of the ones that we've had that it was their first year. Well, we have a big map in our room that's put up on the TV or the monitor, and we show them what we think are good locations, accessible locations, because you're looking at trying to get on the lake at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning before daylight. Where's the nearest boat ramp, that they can utilize and stuff like that. So, and depending on, where they are, where they want to choose their spot, we kind of give them some hints and just kind of guide them a little bit. And then I guess the big mistake is a lot of people aren't reading the back of the permit where the blinds have to be removed 10 days after the season closes. Sometimes we do find remnant blinds. They're still on the lake, come summertime. We got to get out of there. And we did get a couple complaints last year where people were trespassing. They get it on somebody's private property and start clearing the brush off of it so they can build their blinds. That's a big no-no. You're not allowed to cut materials off somebody else's property to create your blind. You have to bring all your own stuff in to create your duck hunting blind.
Yeah, noted. Bring all your own stuff to create your duck hunting blind. So, Sharon, since you've been there, has the number of people who've attended grown, or did it start out big right away?
The first year that I participated in the draw, so it was a first come, first serve thing. So we would have hunters driving up the day before, the evening before, parking along the roadway so they could be first in line.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, they would literally camp overnight.
Camping out the night before? Man, hunters don't mess around when it comes to getting their spots.
It was crazy. So that may have gone on maybe 3 or 4 years. And then we decided I think the BRA as a whole decided to do the draw. Like everybody just comes in, put their name in a hat, and we pull names, which it was beneficial to the hunters. They didn't have to sit here all night. We still have some that are here very early the next morning because they still feel like they have to be the first on site. We have some hunters that work the night shift, come straight from work. It's a lot of camaraderie. It's actually a fun day. We have repeat hunters that come in. We have new hunters that we've seen for the first time. With me being behind the desk, taking the application and the permit fee, I get to listen to a lot of it. It's really neat to hear the seasoned hunters that have been here before giving pointers to those who've been here for the first time.
Oh, I love that.
It's a cool day. We really enjoy it. It's a fun day.
Yeah.
Actually, a fun morning because we're usually done, I guess, probably by 10:30, 11 o'clock. Charlie, I will tell you, so as far as the numbers, I think the lowest number that I remember being in attendance is 75. It's always been 75 or more, over 100. The parking lot is just packed and there's people everywhere.
Yeah, I bet that's a sight to see.
It's really a neat thing and I enjoy it. I look forward to it every year. I guess, just make sure you have your hunting license, your duck stamp, your $200 fee in the form of a check or money order made out to the Brazos River Authority. Now, I will say that there are some that come in and they have dad write the check form, and that's perfectly fine. Back to what Wayne was saying earlier, the permit allows only 4 people in a duck blind at a time.
So, what does that look like?
Say the person that wins the drawing for that blind and his 3 friends, they go out. Maybe the person that got the permit isn't able to go that day. The 3 friends can still go by the permit holder giving the permit to one of them. They have to have that permit while sitting in the blind. Also, as most duck hunters know, that when they are in that blind, they have to have their license. They need to be safe. There may be game wardens coming by to check to make sure that they are being safe and to check their licenses. Some people show up kind of as a team, and if one of them, say it's a group of 4 guys or ladies, and once one of them gets a spot, the rest of them pull their name because they know that they're going to be able to have a spot. There's no sense. This is their thoughts is if you got 4 guys that are a family or friends, there's no sense in each of them getting a blind. They want to hunt together, and so they'll pull their name. It dwindles down pretty quick after we start drawing.
Oh, that's really interesting and super considerate of people to pull out once one of their friends secures a location. So if I heard you right, 4 people can be in one hunting blind location at a time, and they only need 1 permit amongst them?
There's only 4 people allowed at a time in a blind, and that states it clearly on the permit that they'll be issued. Because we've had some people that want to bring in a group, 10 or more, that blind area is not going to hold that many people. So it's only 4 total at a time that can hunt one blind location that you draw for.
Yeah, 10's a lot of people. Is there anything else that they need whenever they show up to be part of this process?
So the permit has a $200 fee to it. So we only accept check or money order, no cash.
And Possum Kingdom Lake?
Our office accepts money orders, checks, and money cards. And money cards are preferred, but this office does not accept American Express, and we will not accept cash.
Oh yeah, that's really good to know.
Yes.
What about Granbury?
We accept check, money order made out to the Brazos River Authority, of course, credit cards as well. Everything except for American Express.
Okay. Well, any final reminders for our listeners today?
Yes, ma'am. Also, when they do come up here, we are located at Observation Point, so you can look over at the dam. Also, we'll have the parking lot somewhat blocked off, so it's safe for people to stand and wait. We also have a restroom close by in the parking lot. Also, if people come and they're not sure about anything, they can always approach us, always ask questions. We'll have several BRA employees out there, as well as law enforcement has been invited. We're all available for any questions that they have.
And just want to remind, everyone as they're duck hunting, horse by boat, just make sure they're wearing their life jackets and being safe on the water.
Just a reminder when you're out duck hunting, and it goes for all the lakes, is all the holes that you're shooting, which are the empty shotgun shells, they need to be picked up. Can't let them wash on the bank. That did cause some problems in years past where the owners of the property had all these shotgun shells floating up on the bank and people jumping out on the bank and going to the bathroom or whatever. And basically that's private property, so they could get in trouble for trespassing if they wanted to file a complaint. What's good about the permits, I just called that permittee that 1 year, and he said that will never happen again, and so never had a problem after that. They picked up all their shells and stuff. So believe it or not, duck hunters will run out of gas too, and so there's been several times where we had to go out there and get way up in there to be able to get them back to a boat ramp or give them some gas. So
there are GPS coordinates on the permit, so they know the exact location of their site.
Okay. So wear your life jacket if you're on a boat, pick up your trash, stay off private property, and make sure you have enough gas in the boat before heading out for the day. Also, as a reminder, hunting on BRA reservoirs is only permitted during waterfowl season and only at these designated blind locations, which is what makes this lottery drawing so special. All right, grab a pen or open up your notes app. Here's a quick recap of the dates, times, and phone numbers you need to lock in your spot. So the drawing at Lake Limestone is August 21st. Doors open at 8 and the drawing starts at 8:30. If you've got any questions, you can reach them at 903-529-2141. The drawing at Lake Granbury is August 28th. Doors open at 8 and then registration closes and the drawing begins at 8:30. You can reach them at 817-573-3212. And the hunting blind location lottery at Possum Kingdom Lake is August 21st. Doors open at 7 and the registration closes and the drawing begins at 8. And you can reach them at 940-779-2321. And if picking up the phone is the absolute least thing you ever want to do, you can shoot us an email at information@brazos.org and we'll help you out. Okay. Thanks to Sharon, Wayne, Dylan, and Diane for joining us today, and good luck to everyone participating in this year's draw. Stay safe, stay hydrated, and we'll catch you next time on Unpacking the Brazos River.